Can't do that at Boston College or Temple today.
Auburn in the road blue. Florida in a home white. Ron Groover to toss it up. He's working with Keith Kimball and Jamie Luckey. And we are playing in the SEC.
Talking to Tony Barbee today at the shoot-around, and he told me he was going to use a lot of zone defense. Looks like he's opening up, though, in a man-to-man. Can have the ball most of the time on offense for the Gators. He's the guy that runs the ship.
And there are the Tigers getting out in the passing lane. Harrell with a steal. And Prather is going to be called for the first foul of the game.
A little attention to detail right there. A pass that should not have been made. You know, oftentimes when you get into February, Dave, everybody has watched tape of everybody else. You know, they know their offense about as well as the team that they're playing. That time they knew where the pass was going, and Harrell got right into the passing lane.
You see KT Harrell's numbers, and the numbers for Auburn at the free throw line have been big. 31 of 47 versus Mississippi State. They have made a concerted effort to take advantage of the individual talents of Harrell and Denson, putting the ball on the deck and getting to the line.
Harrell's number 3 shooter in free throws within the league. Outstanding at the line. Interesting matchup with Shamsuddin, the freshman guarding Wilbekin.
Lost it. And how about the Tigers? Taj Shamsuddin, the freshman from Decatur, Georgia.
Auburn Station, their man-to-man defense. Barbee has played a lot of zone this year.
Wilbekin stayed on one foot. Frazier got it to go.
There's the guy that can shoot the threes. As good as anybody in this country. 42% from beyond the arc.
Had 5 games this year, Larry, with 5 3-pointers in a contest.
It's a tough matchup for Prather trying to guard Shamsuddin.
Shamsuddin listed at 5'10".
Being generous.
Yes.
Good double up. Did they get the steal? They did not. And looks like Patrick Young might have hurt his ear. Let's go back and look at the pass. Wilbekin getting it outside, kicking it to the right side. Prather finishes it up. Nothing but net. Oh, what a year he has had. Excuse me, there's Frazier. Prather made the pass.
Shot clock at 3. How about an offensive rebound for the Tigers? Hassan Dixon Tatum got it and had it knocked away.
It's been a good rebounder at 7 feet. The Hoosier stands in there pretty tall and takes up a lot of space. He averages 6 rebounds a game.
Prather with a push. Wow. Did you see Aguette just go up and get that ball? And that's the kind of problem that Florida can cause for you. You do a great job of boxing out, but you still got to go get it.
You know what? Now let me ask you something. Who gets the foul here? I think the contact actually was made by Aguette. Even though Shamsuddin had him blocked out, he went up over his back to get the ball. That could have been called the other way as well as the way it was called.
I think the thing that Tony Barbee is asking is what happened inside where Shamsuddin was trying to stop Aguette in the first place.
And he's having a conversation right now with Ron Groover, one of the officials.
Patrick Young goes to the Florida bench. He took a shot to the left ear. He goes out, and Dorian Finney-Smith, 6'8" sophomore from Portsmouth, Virginia, checks in.
Here comes the full court pressure. Florida's had a lot of success with this year. They'll retreat, and then they'll come back after you once you cross the half-court line on occasions. You've got to be very aware of that when you're bringing the ball up against that press.
Gators double team. They worked on this in their shoot. And Payne couldn't get it to go. Devon Walker, number 25, 6'5" sophomore from Winter Haven, Florida. There he is, checks into the Gator lineup. Casey Prather gets his first break. From an emotional standpoint, Larry, one thing I think even the Florida coaches were interested in, that game Saturday night was such a big one against Kentucky. How would this team come out and perform tonight?
Good block down the inside. Boy, that was good. Ashawn Dixon Tatum. His 45th block of the year.
And Denson pushes the pace, and he'll go to the line again.
Go back and watch Dixon Tatum right here. He ranks 4th in the SEC in blocked shots. Gets good position in there. Like I said, he takes up a lot of room in that lane. Not really an offensive threat, though. Everything he does is really on the rebounding and the defensive side.
He's now got at least one block in 20 of 24 games this year, and 46 out of the 56 he's played in during his Auburn career.
You want to talk about somebody hot right now. How about Chris Denson? I mean, he has been on fire. Last 4 games, he is averaging 27 points per game. Leads the SEC in scoring.
And Larry, part of the way that he's done it is coming into tonight's game. 61 of his last 178 points came at the free throw line.
Yeah. He actually has the 3rd most attempts in the SEC, and he has the most made in the SEC.
Kick out on the three-pointer won't go, and that's a nice rebound by KT Harrell.
I'll tell you what, the 3 guards that Auburn has out there are very quick. They can all 3 handle the ball.
They can. Saw you go out a moment ago. Patrick Young back in for him. And Young and Frazier combined for the steal. That's the kind of mistake you can't make. It's great hustle. But in a building like this, you can't lose an uncontested rebound like that.
Yeah, there's nobody around him. He got up and shouting instructions to his club right now. Hey, Tony Barbee had a very spirited workout today. I watched Florida work out for about 2 hours yesterday. They did a little bit of everything.
Those workouts today, really intense, high energy. Players from both clubs were attentive. Coaches were pleased.
That's a good call.
Offensive foul. It's going to go against Dorian Finney-Smith. And the Auburn Tigers coming into the O-Dome, playing well early.
It's a really good defensive club. I could tell that in early January. If they kept going the way they were going, they were going to be able to play defense as well as anybody in this country.
Florida a chance to set up that full court pressure.
There comes the double team. Nicely handled by Auburn.
Back tap. There from Devon Walker. The Tigers get it back.
These 2 teams played at Auburn back earlier in the year. And I'm going to tell you what, with 1 minute and 59 seconds to go, Florida was leading only by 1. Auburn made a game of it, and then the Gators started doing what they usually do in the last couple of minutes. They started making plays.
Gators have won 5 straight versus Auburn and 15 out of the last 16. Won 68-61 back on January 18th. Nice feed.
Nice ball move. Boy, that's pretty. Welcome with a nice pass to Frazier. Frazier already with a couple of threes.
And that's part of Tony Barbee's strategy. He says that at times this Florida team doesn't shoot the ball really well, so he was going to take his chances from the outside. He may have to rethink that if Frazier keeps getting open looks.
comes the double team. Every time the ball goes into the corner there, Florida doubles it up.
Nice. The ball went way down and popped out on Harrell.
Republican trying to get into that lane. He's so successful doing that this year.
Frazier again. Harrell is a guy who's just cleaning the glass for Auburn early.
Averages 4 rebounds a game.
Dixon Tatum got it and was tied up, and the arrow points the way of Auburn. Will you get coming back in? For Auburn, number 41, Matthew Attawa, 6'9", 250-pound freshman from Brampton, Ontario, via Notre Dame Prep. And also checking into the game, Attaway. Oh, that's right. That's the way I got it here. Attaway. And Alex Thompson, 6'8", 204-pound freshman from Dothan, Alabama, who was given a battlefield promotion, put on scholarship back in January, the night before the Tennessee game.
It's a good call. Yeah, I think Wilbekin looked up. He had somebody open on the wing over there, and all of a sudden he got covered up, and he took that extra step. Very rare turnover for one of the SEC's best guards.
Only the third for the Gators.
Out on shooters on the perimeter.
Denson with a wraparound, and Harrell got a good look. Instead, it's Attaway who gets the stick back.
Can we say attaboy, attaway?
We can.
Yeah, okay.
Only averaging 1.7 a game, so he's already over that average.
Nice pass to the quarterback.
We talked about a few minutes ago. There's another rebound right into an Auburn hand, and it turns into a three-point play the other way.
Substitution for Auburn, number 2, Alan Payne, and number 11, Keelan Wade.
Devon Walker checks back in. We take a look at the last meeting. You see it was just a one-point game at the half, as Larry mentioned. Florida with a 23-point average advantage on the bench. And Auburn had to put together a 14-0 run in the first half to erase a 13-point Gator lead. The much heralded freshman Chris Walker from Bonifay, Florida, just checked in as well. Just got eligible a couple of weeks ago.
Boy, is Denson quick with that ball. I'll tell you what, you better plant yourself in front of him, or at least get somebody to help you, because if he starts down that floor and gets up ahead of steam, he is tough to slow down. And he got to the rim. He's done a lot of this season.
Rakers pass, batted away. What a spin by Walker. A lot of activity there. And the Gators don't come away with anything but a foul.
A lot of good action that time on the part of the Auburn Tigers. They had a lot of guys up on that rim battling Florida for that rebound.
Substitution for Auburn, number 1, A.T. Harrell.
Now Tony Barbee, he's got to spot his stars. He gets Harrell back in there, and he's getting Denson out just 28 seconds away for our next media timeout. So try to get him just a little extra. Job on the press right there. And Harrell got through it. Number 11, Dion Wade, 170-pound freshman at 6'5". Via Finley Prep into the Auburn lineup as well.
2 straight layups by the Auburn guards. Denson had one going to the length of the court, and that time Shamsuddin from the left wing. Nobody from Florida there to battle him. Usually they rotate over really well and give good help on defense. Shamsuddin very quick.
Billy Donovan doesn't like what he sees, and he takes a 30-second timeout.
I can tell you what he's upset about. He's upset about both of those layups. Let's go back and take a look at the 2 guards from Auburn. They've got 4 guys that play that guard position, but Shamsuddin very quick with the ball. Coming up, this one here goes to Chris Denson going the length of the court. Florida did not stop him, and then, of course, Shamsuddin right here gets the wide open lane and goes right down toward the block and lays it up on the glass. Florida with a little inattention to defense that time. And a good heads-up play by both those guards from Auburn.
And nothing really of a surprising nature, Larry. I mean, this is what Florida expected Auburn to do. This is what Auburn does best, so there's no reason to expect that they would do anything differently. And in a lot of instances here in the early going, they've just out-executed Florida at that end of the floor.
Well, they have, particularly their offensive end. Defensively for the Gators, which we have been ballyhooing all night, at least through this point in the game. So far, it hasn't shown up. They've been awfully good, Auburn has, at getting the ball to the rim.
So let's see if Billy Donovan drew something up or someone in particular.
Probably drew some blood over there.
Okay. Frazier's had the hot hand early. Instead, it's Devon Walker who gets the 3. And the Gators now 3 of 6 from outside the arc.
Canada in trouble, and he was fortunate to have Payne in the middle.
Malcolm Canada, 6'3", 224-pound junior from Austin, Texas. Transferred from Ellsworth Community College.
Talked about Auburn controlling the pace. They have done that. I mean, I think this is like the 4th time they've gone the shot clock almost down.
And how about that home win streak?
29 in a row. Billy Donovan, if he wins his 18th straight home game tonight, that will be the new record. It's tied right now.
It would be easy to say that visiting teams come down here and they just get thinking about this weather and they don't have their minds on basketball, but it's all about this basketball team in white. It's got that win streak at 29 and a 10-second count. There's the defense you've been talking about.
Well, part of the problem was, and you can't do this, Chris Denson picked up his dribble, and he had nowhere to go with the basketball. By the time he got it over to KT Harrell, 8 seconds were already gone, and he couldn't dribble across the midcourt line in time. He got the 10-second call against him. Tony Barbee worked on that today. I'm going to say they probably spent 15 minutes on working against the press. A little different game, though. Nice spin. Wow. Pretty play.
That was an incredibly difficult play that Casey Prather made look incredibly easy.
And it got not only around his guy, but he got through 2 other Auburn defenders that came to help. By the one, he goes through the other 2. Casey Prather averaged only 6 points and 3 rebounds last season. He is right now at 16-5.
You know, Larry, there's all kinds of discussions about the players and one-and-dones and all that thing as Prather gets his age. But that's the thing about this senior-dominated Florida team. They have all been through a lot of different scenarios. And they have all matured and blossomed and struggled at different times in their career.
And I would take you back to November when Billy Donovan had some guys sitting out because of suspensions, one of them being Wilbekin.
Yep.
He had a couple of guys injured. Once again, Auburn working that shot clock down. That's a tie-up. It's going to go to Florida.
Attaway.
Florida basketball.
So as they have moved forward from that November period, this team started to get all those players back in the lineup and back playing again. And all they've done is just get better and better and better.
In the midst of an 8-0 run and looking to extend that. They now got their biggest lead of the night.
Comes that 2-3 zone and Auburn likes to play. A little gap in the middle right there. It's open right at that free throw line.
Dixon Tatum's having a good first half. Look at him go to work. Boy, that's a pretty play.
I'll tell you what, he got it down inside up against one of the best defensive centers in the league, in Patrick Young. Once again, Auburn back in that zone defense. There's that opening.
What a feed from Wilbekin. And Young couldn't finish.
We'll see more of that from Florida. They'll flow the guard in there. It was Wilbekin who was in the middle of the lane. He made a nice pass. Young just couldn't finish it.
That's a guy that can finish, though.
Denson something, isn't he?
You know, Larry, he can not only penetrate, but he's got a body type where he can absorb the contact. And there's a difference between absorbing it and being able to take it and still finish.
6'2", 181. Handles the ball extremely well.
Wilbekin misfires again. And the Gators have yet to get a point from either Young or Wilbekin. They hang on to a 1-point lead.
Headed out of town for those big away games? Then
Like they were surely out of it. 22 points, 15 rebounds. His second double-double of the season. And he's the Gators' highest scoring reserve in our Motel 6, sixth man.
Nice pickup by Billy Donovan. He transferred from Virginia Tech, sat out last year. Proved to be a terrific reserve.
Boy, how about that three-pointer from Shamsuddin? 8th point for Taj Shamsuddin.
I was talking to Tony Barbee about him today, and he says, well, I'm going to tell you what. He says, and I'm going to use an old line from a movie from Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Every man must know his limitations. And that's exactly what he said about him. He said he makes really good decisions. He said he really is a more mature player than a freshman usually is in this league. He makes great decisions. He's got a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. He's had a terrific year. This league is full of really good freshman players this year, and he's one of them.
Five on the shot clock.
He was a little off balance that time. Didn't have his legs underneath of him when he went up for the jump shot.
Wilbekin now 0 of 5 from the field. Patrick Young has missed his only field goal attempt.
So far, Tony Barbee has been somewhat prophetic. He didn't feel like Florida would shoot well tonight. So far, he's been right.
Payne with a spin. That's pretty. The senior from Cincinnati, Ohio, gets his first 2 of the night. And I tell you, Larry, we saw Auburn on Sunday, December 8th. It was the day after the SEC football championship, so nobody was talking about anything but what the Tigers football team had done. And we saw them play Illinois. And they were beaten at Phillips Arena 81-62. And as the saying goes, the game wasn't that close. They have made market strides since then.
They have won 4 of their last 6 games. I'll tell you what, the 2 they lost, particularly the one to Kentucky. I'll tell you what, they were in it right up to the end. This Auburn team just hasn't learned to finish games. And I think that's the reason, at least in their last 2
like they had gotten this game into some perspective, but then Shamsuddin hits again, and all of a sudden, Auburn with a 12-0 run to take a 7-point lead here at the O-Dome.
Got the freshman Shamsuddin.
He's only averaging 9 points per game. And Wilbekin finally gets his first bucket of the night.
Well, that's what they need. They need those three-point shots right now to get back in this thing. Frazier has 2. Devon Walker has 1, and now Wilbekin has 1. Florida going to pick up a foul.
Florida foul number 5. Scotty Wilbekin, his first 15 pounds.
You get, checks in. Patrick Young checks out. Dorian Finney-Smith. Michael Frazier. Boy, that's a tough backdoor pass. If somebody had been home on that, it would have been tough to handle. Here comes Walker back into the game as Prather gets a break. And Alex Thompson back into the Auburn lineup, replacing Alan Payne.
So far, the Gators had a hard time getting the ball down inside.
That time they did. Oh my gosh! And Shamsuddin absolutely extended both hands and about pushed you get out of bounds.
You know, Florida's been pretty good at playing paintball. What I mean is scoring the ball down inside. You know, they get into that paint and they'll put the ball up and in. Wilbekin, 2 in a row.
He can change the complexion of this one if he gets heated up. 39% three-point shooter. And just like that, the Gators back within 1. And the Rowdy Reptiles are back in it. Denson tied up. It's amazing how a couple of made baskets and then all of a sudden you pop up and make a great defensive play.
I'm going to tell you what, we were talking about defensively, how the Gators have performed this year. This is the guy that leads the defense. Look at Wilbekin. He's a little charged up right now. Upset that his club is down 1 and we're heading toward the half.
Auburn had the arrow though. Shot clock at 7. Step back.
Harrell averaging 19 a game. He doesn't shoot those twos very often.
Harrell with 4. Denson with 6. The surprise Shamsuddin with 11. And the Gator onslaught from outside. And this last 4-minute segment continues. 2 from Wilbekin. That one from Devon Walker.
What a nice pass by Denson. He dribbled straight into the lane. The Gators converged on him, and when he found Harrell on the wing, Harrell just buried it.
Nice take. Dorian Finney-Smith will go to the line. Only 3 of 12 inside the arc, and only 4 points, Larry, in the paint.
How about that? And in fact, add to that the fact that they are 6 of 11 beyond the three-point line. I mean, better from beyond the arc than they are inside it.
Finney-Smith couldn't get the free throw to go. Florida 4 of 6 from the line. Auburn a perfect 4 and 4. Canada back in there, running things at the point. Denson, Harrell, Payne, Matthew Attaway.
Payne with a good three-point shot. Unusual for him. Even though he doesn't shoot it well, he will put it up if he's open.
I'm telling you, Florida has made a living in the SEC out of having people just hang around and then burying them late in the second half. But this Auburn team does not look like they're going to go quietly into the Gainesville night.
I don't think hanging around is a part of the resume for them. Nice cut to the basket.
No shot.
Well, that was a nice play. KT Harrell. He got closed out quickly over in the corner over there, and when he did, he just put it on the floor and went right down that baseline.
Walker called for the foul.
Watch this again. You can see the maneuver right there. Devon Walker going out to guard him, and as soon as he made that step, Harrell says, "You left it open, buddy. I'm taking advantage of it." He went right down that baseline. Set of guards right there, isn't it? Wilbekin and Denson.
Boy, Wilbekin, that's a second turnover he's responsible for. He is really causing some trouble for the Auburn backcourt to get into its offense. Approaching the 2-minute mark in the first half. Patrick Young still looking for his first points of the night. Dixon Tatum had the rebound.
Ugette's going to pick that one up.
Patrick Young, his first. 7th Auburn will shoot the bonus.
Young, I thought it was Ugette, but they say Young was called for the foul.
I thought Ugette taking his arm off.
I did too. They were both right there. I guess they saw Young first. And you can see him pleading his case.
He's saying, put it on my teammate. I don't want it.
Tigers now 5 of 5 from the line. As Hassan Dixon Tatum, a 55% free throw shooter.
What was it? They made 37 or 41 against Mississippi State.
31 and 47. They will get there a bunch now. Wilbekin on the drive.
Job that time shutting him off. Michael Frazier kept Denson from going to the glass again.
And how about this freshman, Taj Shamsuddin, leading the Tigers here at the O-Dome to a 7-point first half lead.
Again? Well, if he had made that one, that would have brought those guys on the Auburn bench all the way off.
And went way down.
Nice shot by Frazier.
Tony Barbee wants to make sure his club gets a good look. He takes a 30-second timeout. Prather now the first Gator in double figures with 10 as he's 4 of 5 from the field. And Larry, we were talking just before we went on the air. We do, you know, look at graphics and elements that we use and everything. All of a sudden you look at the SEC standings and you don't realize how bunched up everybody is in the middle.
Well, they are. I mean, Florida and Kentucky out in front of everyone. Florida's by themselves, actually. But Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss, LSU, Vanderbilt, Missouri, all right there with 6 losses. You know, we could end up with a 5 or 6 way tie for 4th place. Georgia got beat big by Tennessee last night. That was the best game, one of the best games the Vols have played last night.
And Georgia has played awfully well this year under Mark Fox.
They won their last 4 in a row before they went to Knoxville to lose that one last night. Georgia tough to beat at home.
So let's see what the Tigers come up with.
Well, that goes back into his own defense. They'll trap out of this. How about Casey Prather, 6'6", out on the point?
How about Ugette out on the wing? Nice drive, Harrell. Shamsuddin.
Every one of the players on the Auburn bench are standing up. Look at the smile on Shamsuddin's face. Did you see that? Coach, I just wanted you to know I can score too. I mean, I can pass and dribble and defend, but I can shoot. He's showing that tonight.
And he just did the floor slap. About a 2-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
I think they had a foul to give. Auburn had a foul to give. They took it right there.
Alan Payne would not have done that.
So they've got another one. That's 5.
Right. He did that right in front of Tony Barbee. He would not have done that unless specifically instructed to do so.
I would make sure that before they get a shot up, you don't want to allow him to get in position to get the shot. Yeah, he got him just before he went up.
And so that's the 6th and the last one they have to give.
Good recognition by Tony Barbee, realizing he had 2 fouls to give and also communicating it to his team, and they did the right thing before they allowed Florida to get in position to make a shot or take one.
Wilbekin from way out. How about this, boys and girls? Florida, its biggest halftime deficit of the season. The Tigers have only lost twice in 13 outings when they have led at the half. And fresh after moving up to number 2 in the nation, trailing only Syracuse, the Florida Gators find themselves trailing Auburn 38-30 at the break. Our halftime activities are coming up in a minute.
Visit Florida shot only 34.5% in that first half.
And Patrick Young, when you talk about the looks test, he really passes that looks test, and he has not scratched in the first 20 minutes of play.
He's only taken 1 field goal so far. The thing about it, he's got 2 assists. Actually, he and Devon Walker have 2 assists apiece.
I don't think Billy's got him out there to throw the ball to other people.
No. You know what? I'm going to give some credit to the Auburn defense. They made it really tough on him to try to pinch the ball down.
All right, so it's Wilbekin. You get Young, Frazier, and Prather to start for the Gators. Shamsuddin, Payne, Son Dixon Tatum, Carroll, and Denson for the blue-clad Tigers.
Stay down.
Wilbekin off the touch pass from Young.
3rd assist from Patrick Young. Good kick out. They dropped down on him. When they dropped into his lap, he just lobbed the ball out to Wilbekin. That is 7 3-point field goals for Florida.
Boy, Tony Barbee came about a whisker getting teed up by Jamie Luckey. He thought Patrick Young cleared out with an arm before he made that touch pass. Shamsuddin.
He's still hot. 5 of 7 from beyond the 3-point arc. Well, there's some things you just can't blame.
And Billy Donovan takes a timeout.
Timeout Florida.
And I'm sure he's going to talk about the defense on Shamsuddin. And we will as well, right after this.
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stairlifts has a solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stairlift, the world's leader in stairlifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs. Even outside, call Acorn Stairlifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. Why risk falling when you can safely ride?
Our Acorn Stairlift is definitely more affordable than moving.
The Acorn Stairlift has a padded seat and backrest, safety sensors, stop the chair if there are obstacles. The seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body. And the Acorn Stairlift folds away. It even works through a power shortage.
I was really surprised how little they cost. Call 1-800-311-1030 for free information. That number again is 1-800-311-1030. 1-800-311-1030. Call now.
From these historic sands, legends will rise.
500 brutal miles.
The great American race returns. The Daytona 500, Sunday at noon, only on Fox.
Seton Hall collides with Creighton Sunday. SEC basketball is presented by Regions Bank and Toyota.
41-35, Auburn still leading over number 2 Florida. Larry Conley, here's what had Tony Barbee so upset. This is right before Patrick Young kicked it back out to Wilbekin for the 3. And Hassan Dixon-Tatum recoiled. How much of that was contact? How much was acting? But it reminded me, Larry, of a story when Billy Donovan had just started out as an assistant for Rick Pitino. And a kid named Joe Harvell came into Rupp Arena and hit the first 7 threes that he took. And Pitino goes into the media room and says, I want to compliment Coach Donovan on a great scout. Not only did we not know Joe Harvell could shoot the 3, we didn't know Joe Harvell was on the squad. Well, Florida certainly knew that Taj Shamsuddin was on the squad, but I don't know that they knew he could shoot 3-pointers the way he is tonight.
Well, nobody else has figured that either. I mean, he only came in shooting 30%.
Florida basketball.
Shamsuddin has come in tonight and hit 6 of 9 from the field. 5 of 7 from outside the arc. This freshman taking on the number 2 team in the country, and he has not turned the ball over.
Nice pass. Finally, Patrick Young gets his first basket, and Wilbekin gives him the ball. Good action there.
Sure, that was a set play that the aforementioned Billy Donovan called during that timeout. Harrell's floater is short. And this is where the Gators are dangerous. Barbee takes a timeout, and he does so because of our staples make more happen moment.
Nice pass again. Wilbekin delivering 2 assists. This was the first one to Patrick Young. As Young got his first basket, and just to follow it up, let's give him another one. But this one goes to a different player. Nice play down inside by Casey Prather on the catch. Wilbekin making things happen.
Tony Barbee could see what was coming. He immediately took the 30-second timeout to try and stem the tide.
Everybody clap your hands.
There's sometimes when you're going in at 8 points and you're a decided underdog, sometimes you really don't believe that you're up by 8.
Right.
When you come out the second half and you're playing in a hostile environment, you got to make sure that your club is ready to come out and assert themselves. And I don't think Auburn was ready, and I think Tony Barbee realized that.
Foul is going to be called on Devon Walker.
Devon Walker, his second. First team foul, the second half against Florida.
And I'm really interested to see whether or not this Auburn team can settle back down after the timeout. There you see Malcolm Canada, a junior from Austin, Texas, who checked in at that timeout. against Auburn. Canada gets it.
Once again, Auburn trying to work that clock down. There's been 4 instances in the first half where they actually got it down to about 1 second, and that time they couldn't finish it off.
And Larry, I was wondering why Canada was in there, and I look at the end of the Auburn bench, and Shamsuddin is over there being worked on by the training staff. Not sure whether he pulled something or cramped up. There he is. Tony Barbee is saying, I don't know what's going on, but fix him and get him back in there.
Auburn goes to his own defense with Shamsuddin out of there. They're in a 2-3. Nice pass by Yaget. Oh, that was pretty. Patrick Young a lot more active this second half than he was in the first half. And his fellow teammates are finding him.
I believe that would be the 3rd straight Florida bucket in the paint. And it's an 8-0 Gator run. Matthew Attaway checks into the lineup. Hassan Dixon Tatum.
Florida basketball.
Malcolm Canada check out. Todd Shamsuddin, after getting stretched out on the sideline, back in there at the point. We are tied for the second time tonight. Somebody got hit in the side of the head. Is it Denson? Yes, it is. We'll check on Denson's condition and what happened. And that's Patrick Young, who's going for the ball. Nothing intentional there, but Patrick Young is so physically developed that whether his elbow is intentional or unintentional, it's going to do some damage if it connects.
Get out.
Count the basket.
Well, Jamie Luckey was quick to point that out, too.
Yes, he was. And somebody is hurt underneath the stanchion. Somebody's holding their ribs. Let's see.
Watch this again. Now, this is a nice maneuver up and in. They're going to call goaltending and give the basket.
That's Frazier who's down on the ground. Well, you can see how hard he's breathing. Take a look. Wilbekin initially comes in, and then Frazier, no place to go. You see him come down on that right side, and you see him immediately grab that right elbow. You just don't know whether it's one of those things where something happened, whether it's like hitting the old funny bone or something and it's numb.
That's probably what happened. That's exactly what happened. They still call it the funny bone?
Yes, they do. Probably so. Of course, he's probably okay. That's Duke, the trainer, who pulled him up by that same right arm, so that's a pretty good indication. It's all right. You can see he's still holding a little gingerly. I think that's probably what happened. Take a look.
Nice maneuver as Harrell got out very quickly. Shamsuddin got it to him. The reason that was called a good field goal was it was coming off of the glass. I'm not sure that ball was actually going to go in.
I would agree with you. So Frazier called for the goaltend.
And the foul?
I believe that's right.
Did he get the foul too?
No, they called the foul on Wilbekin on the way up.
Okay. A little respite right there as they kind of stemmed that run that Florida had.
And they called Denson for a hand check.
Well, he's got all that strength to slow Young down, you know.
Denson at 6'2", 180. Young listed listed at 6'9", 240. And for Patrick Young, that's 240 and not much body fat at all as Shamsuddin goes back out. I think he's cramping up. They've got some looking for him down at the end of the bench. That is a storyline to watch.
Nice pass out by Wilmington. Auburn closed out quickly there, didn't they? Denson was right there.
Nice pick by Young. Pretty play by Prather. He comes up hobbling.
That was good ball movement by Florida. I like the action. When you got guys moving the basketball to teammates around the horn or into the lane and back out, eventually you find somebody that's going to be open for a shot. Florida's an excellent passing team.
Hadaway called for the foul. And the Prather deal is one to watch as well, because when he came down, and you can still kind of see him moving his legs there, it's like favoring that left calf. Something like that. See, you still see him working that left leg. That's more of a muscle pull, which is a concern as opposed to a bruise. And so you've got him hobbling on the Florida end. Shamsuddin back down on his belly over on the Auburn bench, taking in fluids, getting rubbed down, getting stretched out. They have been pouring the fluids in him and trying to keep him from cramping up as Devon Walker checks back in. And now for the first time tonight, Jacob Kurtz, junior from Oviedo, Florida, number 30, checks into the Gator lineup. Push going to be called against the Gators. Looks like Wilbekin's going to get that one. That is Wilbekin's third, Larry. 14:33 to play.
You see if Billy Donovan gets him out of there. It's hard to take the guy out that really runs your club.
I think he is, though. Denson went right at him. What a smart play.
They knew what they wanted to do. Nice job by Tony Barbee that time, getting the message to Denson. You take him. He's got 3 fouls. Denson did.
I'll tell you what Barbee needs to be credited with as well, I think, Larry, is Denson comes back and commits the foul at the other end. It is not only does he communicate to these guys what he wants done, they do it.
Let's go back and take a look at Chris Denson right here. Nice maneuver. Comes back inside. A little fade away. Tell you what, he went right down that lane with the ball. You let him get that deep, something is going to happen that's going to be good for Auburn.
Denson now with 8 as Wilbekin indeed comes out. Frazier's back in for him, so it's Frazier, Walker, you get Finney Smith and Kurtz. A lineup that Gator fans have not seen much of this year. Question is, can the Tigers capitalize?
You know, they took that 11-3 run, and they've kind of bluntly held them back, not allowing Florida to do anything else. They've got a little run of their own going right now.
Shamsuddin back over in front of the scorer's table, sent the check back in. As is Patrick Young.
Nice pass inside. Just got it.
I thought he was going to shoot it, and I think that's what you get from as well. Denson, oh my goodness! How did that go in? And now Denson is down on the deck.
He got caught in a vice here. Watch again as he tries to go down that lane. He was off balance. He had his left leg up in the air, had no balance whatsoever, and he just threw the ball up there. It was a prayer, and it went in.
It's because he got tripped. And it was Dorian Finney-Smith that was called for the foul. That's what threw him off balance. Patrick Young and Shamsuddin check back in. Quietly, deliberately, I'm going to stretch it back out to 5. Nice pass from Niket. And Young will go to the line.
One of the things that Florida worked on yesterday in practice was against Auburn's zone defense. And they tried to float, at times a guard, sometimes a wing guy, into the middle of that lane. And if they got the ball in there, their first look was always to the baseline. So far, it's been Patrick Young who has been the beneficiary of those passes coming from the lane.
Both coaches using a lot of players. It has been a high-energy game. And I hate to even do this, that the weather has been so bad everywhere else, but it got up to close to 80 today. A little warm in this building tonight. We've seen Shamsuddin go over for liquids a couple of different times. And the intensity has been outstanding. With the pressure. That was a prototypical Patrick Young kind of rebound.
Good screen by you get to Frazier. You couldn't use it.
No basket, says Ron Groover. He says the bucket happened, or the foul happened before the bucket was scored. KT Harrell guilty of the push.
Watch it again down inside. I don't know. That one was pretty close.
Groover was emphatic about it, though.
Good things that Florida does as a basketball team. One of the things they have some deficiencies in, there aren't many, is their free throw shooting. They're actually in the lower part of the league. They're ranked 10th in this game. It's an area that is of concern to Billy Donovan. They shoot a lot of free throws.
Timeout on the next dead ball. Auburn trying to keep the momentum going, and what a big three-pointer that was by Dion Wade. 17 of his 23 made field goals this year have been threes. If you need a three, Wade is the way to go.
Lawrence, okay, 86, 87.
I would not have thought of Joe Lawrence. I was going to go Calathis.
He had a brother that played with him here too.
I was going to go Calathis or somebody like that, but Frazier is third all-time. SEC Player of the Week. Back on January 27th, he was a 46% three-point shooter as a freshman. And that's the answer to tonight's Toyota Trivia question. Shamsuddin back in there running the point. He had 14 and his only bucket in the second half came at the 19:04 mark. It was a three, and since then he's been battling cramps. Payne in a lot of trouble. Auburn has the arrow.
Dave, the question you've got to ask is, why would you bother to put the ball on the deck and go into a swamp The swamp is full of Gators. Right in the lane. You got 4 guys surrounding you down there. You have nowhere to go with the basketball.
Because like every kid this age that's playing major college athletics, they believe they are invincible. They believe they can do anything. You like that, right?
No, I'm smarter. I stayed away from those guys. And if you have the ball, Riley and Danbury, it's a good shoot. Auburn's back in that zone defense again. They match up out of this, and they're doing a better job of controlling that lane when somebody goes in there. Good pass by Young.
Frazier can't get that one to go. But Young is there with the stick back at a time when his team needed it the most.
I want to tell you, Patrick Young is getting it done in the second half. He didn't score a point in the first half, and he has just been just a tower of strength down inside, getting the rebounds and putting them back up and in.
8 points for Young, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Larry, I believe he's going to have to do more of that because last 2 or 3 Florida possessions, whether it's field goals or free throws, their shots have really been short, indicating a tired basketball team. Gators have tied it up twice. That shot by Harrell went all the way down.
Wilbekin trying to get up the floor without the ball. He kind of turned his head and took his eyes off of the basketball as it was being thrown to him. Doesn't make many mistakes, I can tell you that. That was his.
Shamsuddin, Harold, Payne, Matthew Attaway in there, along with Chris Denson for Auburn.
Nice ball fake. Oh, that was a good ball fake, and it ended up being a bad play because he's going to get a player control foul. Billy Donovan not pleased at all with the way his club is playing. Once again, Frazier right there with the ball fake. Thinks he's got a wide open lane, and the ball just will not go down. Wouldn't have counted anyway. Auburn still hanging on.
Auburn shooting 51%. I believe the only other team that has shot above 50% against the Gators this year is Alabama, which shot 55% against Florida on February the 8th. Right now, even though they struggled the last few minutes, Auburn's still at 51%. Harrell rushed that one. Vinny Smith feeling frisky, put one up.
One of the things Auburn has to guard against right here is losing their poise. I mean, they're still up by 1 point. They're in a hostile atmosphere here. They've kind of been struggling on the offensive end. And part of it has to do with the way the Gators are attacking them on defense. Florida's half-court defense is much improved in this second half.
No question. Again, 62% free throw shooter gets it to go. Kurtz checks in to give Wilbekin a break. No, Wilbekin went over to the sideline, but it's Frazier that comes out. Here's the question I have, Larry. You can't obviously be a one-man show. But when you're an Auburn basketball team, you're trying to do something that would be potentially a program changer for them. It just is my sense that it's been too many possessions that Chris Denson hasn't got a good look.
Part of that has to do with the way they have played him. Tell you what, they've Shamsa Dean down, too. He had that one early three-point field goal in the half, and really hasn't done much, mainly because he's been on the sideline. What I'm not sure was cramping or what it was, but they were tending to him over there.
Here he goes, and he's in trouble.
Once again, good defense by Florida.
Gators with their first lead since it was 18-17 at the 8:22 mark of the first half. And I think Tony Barbee is going to try to quiet this crowd as soon as Shamsa Dean gets across half court.
And once again, Auburn turns the basketball over. This time, Shamsa Dean getting surrounded by a lot of white jerseys. They take it away from him. Wilbekin, no hesitancy on his part. He goes down the lane, a little teardrop right there, up over the rim. He's in double figures now, isn't he?
Wilbekin with 11. It's a 7-0 Florida run in the last 3:05. And the last 4 Auburn possessions, Larry, 0 for 4 from the field, 1 turnover. As you look at what the reigning SEC Player of the Week has done his last 3.
I'm going to tell you what, he is the physical and, if you will, the spiritual leader of this basketball team. I mean, when he's out there preaching to the choir, these guys do what he says, and he's really good at getting them up and down the court.
There's that call. That's exactly what Tony Barbee did with that timeout. He reminded his players who Chris Denson was and what he's done.
Look at this maneuver. He's left-handed, but with the ball in the right hand, the defender can't get over to guard him. Kurtz thought he had him pinned on that baseline, so all he did was just stop and pop. That's a move we've seen Denson make a lot in his career at Auburn.
Just his 12th point. And remember, in his last 4, he's averaging, what, 26 a game? Can't complete the three-point play. Nice defense in there by Jordan Granger, 6'8" sophomore in there for the first time. Young is gassed. He hadn't crossed half court yet.
Boy, that was a terrific block. Denson had gotten his way all the way to the basket. Kind of laid up, underhand. And when he put it up, Young came all the way down the floor and slapped it away.
Second block of the night for Young. Dorian Finney-Smith can't get that 3 to go. Just keeps battling. Nice feed from Denson, who gets it inside to Alloway.
Now Denson's the guy that's carrying Auburn right now. He's brought them back after being down by 3. Auburn's come back, and it's been Denson that's been leading them. The basket, the assist. We got good guards in this game.
Nice feed from Young.
Another assist by Wilbekin.
Billy Donovan wanted a timeout, and they give it to him. I didn't think he got it. But he's trying to get some fresh legs in. And a timeout comes from the Gator bench.
Scotty Wilbekin with his 4th assist of the night. A little drop-off pass down inside to Patrick Young. I'm going to tell you what, Young could claim squatters' rights down there in that position. He's been there all night long, particularly in the second half.
Billy Donovan really trying to up the tempo. Tony Barbee just really over there willing his team to stay in it, stay after it. 4 ties, 5 lead changes. And we're under 7 minutes to go. And you see the numbers from Scotty Wilbekin. And yet 1 point separate the number 2 team in the country from a club that's 1 game over 500. Big back. Every time Auburn's needed a bucket, it seems like they've got one, Larry.
Yeah, Alan Payne got 1 3 in the first half. He just hit another one here. And Auburn, it just won't go away.
Tigers are 9 of 15 from outside the arc.
You know what? They're next to last in three-point shooting coming into this game.
Not tonight. Another Florida shot that's short. Wilbekin, oh, they say he was fouled. Tony Barbee wanted to walk. But it's been no walk in the park for number 2, who trailed.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic.
And they've needed everything they have gotten from him. So Scotty Wilbekin goes to the line after the foul on Payne. And that was a big foul for Auburn because it was number 4 against Payne. He remains in there with those 4 fouls and just under 6 minutes to play. $13 now for Wilbekin. Fourth tie of the night. Shamsuddin kept the Tigers in it for oh so long, and he has been quiet since the first minute of the second half. Gosh, going to his right. You've got to credit Florida's defense for closing out. But Shamsuddin is still clearly bothered by a cramp or whatever was going on with him physically.
Well, the focus has gotten to Shamsuddin. He shot it short and a nice pickup inside by Harrell to get the rebound. I'm going to tell you what, Harrell's done a pretty good job on the glass tonight. He's got 6 rebounds. He goes with his 10 points and 4 assists.
Larry, you have been in that situation before. You get the hot hand and then everybody starts really running after you. How difficult is it to change that mindset? Instead of just putting it up and believing everything's going to go in, and to putting it on the deck and creating a better shot for you or somebody else.
Well, I think part of it has to do with your mind of where you are in the game. I mean, this is a guy coming into this game who was an assist guy, a defense guy, a handler. So that's what he was supposed to do. Now, in the first half, he characteristically scored those points. He got the first one in the second half, but, you know, he can revert back to what he was supposed to do, and that's deliver the basketball and handle the ball. Nice move. How about Young? I'm telling you, you just ought to mark the spot with an X out there.
13 points in the one area we have probably not focused enough on here in the second half has been the interior passing of the Gators.
2-3 zone now by Florida. See, Dean not nearly looking for his shot as much as he was in the first half.
That guy will, though. KT Harrell cannot remember whether he's missed his last 6 or made his last 6.
He's the best three-point shooter that Auburn has.
And that is just his second triple. Speaking of three-point shooters, Frazier had it go down and pop out.
Substitution for Auburn, number 2, Alan Payne.
Alan Payne comes back in. It looks like Tony Barbee is going to try to do a little offense-defense substitution the rest of the way. Bring Granger in on defense. bring Payne with those 4 fouls back in on offense.
Not a bad idea. Payne with 8 points and a couple of threes tonight. They may need his offense later on.
Dixon Tatum kicks it back out front and resets the offense. Shot pocket 5. Here's Harrell again. Great hustle by Yeget.
That a heads-up play by Denson. Realizing that they had that man in the middle in the lane, and they hurt them a lot in the second half with the passing being done in that lane down inside to Young. Denson just jumped in there and just took that pass before they had a chance to even do anything.
8th Florida turnover. Check it 9. Wow, Young just turned around and flat pushed Hassan Dixon Tatum. And the visiting Tigers are pushing Florida. But Larry, the difference continues to be the fact that we started off this broadcast talking about Florida's defense. Alabama, the only team to shoot over 50% against the Gators. Auburn right now at 51%.
I tell you what's remarkable to me in a game that has been up and down tonight. Neither one of these clubs have turned the ball over excessively.
No.
Only 8 turnovers for Auburn and 9 for Florida. That is remarkable and really the type of game. I mean, both clubs fast breaking, going up and down the floor, a lot of pressing.
Both teams have shot free throws pretty well too. Hassan Dixon Tatum missed the second. He's 3 for 4, and he's only a 55% free throw shooter. And a foul was called against Harrell on that missed free throw. It's his 3rd. And that'll send the Gators back to the line.
He'll shoot 2 shots.
Form of Dorian Finney-Smith, a 63% free throw shooter. He's now 2 for 3 tonight. Payne comes back in offensively. Jordan Granger goes to the Auburn bench. Patrick Young back in for Florida after getting a few more minutes of rest after the media timeout.
I will remind you that Dave and I said in the first half this Auburn team with 1:59 to go at Auburn is only down 1 to Florida.
Yes, sir.
And we're heading in that direction right now.
The Rowdy Reptiles trying to will their team through.
Florida's really closing out quickly.
Nice move by Denson, and it was just short.
I can tell you how good a defensive stance Florida just made.
Really good.
I mean, they were moving the ball extremely well, and Florida was right there with them on every pass.
Now can they take advantage? 4 ties, 8 lead changes. And a foul will put the Gators on the free throw line. Matthew Attaway called for his 3rd.
At the line, Patrick Young. This is 2 shots.
Patrick Young with Florida now in the double bonus. Will shoot 2, and he's a perfect 3 of 3 from the stripe.
Substitution for Auburn on the 0. Hassan Dixon Tatum.
Dixon Tatum. Shamsuddin back in for Auburn.
Really has a very stoic look as he's gotten older. He used to be very animated. That's what happens as you get older. He's got a lot of gray hair, too.
Wow. Games like this will give it to you if you're in his business, my friend.
You bet.
Paydays aren't bad, though. fifth time, and Denson will go to the line.
He's almost impossible to stop when he gets that motor running. He puts it in gear and he starts that maneuver with the basketball. He's equally adept at handling it with either hand. He just kind of picked a spot and started to weave his way into the lane and got by about 3 Florida Gators. Who got him, you get? Yeah, you get fouled him. Okay.
Denson, a 66% free throw shooter. He's now 3 for 5. You get goes out. Finney Smith checks back in. And Larry, he's been able to create and get through that defense tonight, and I don't recall a single time where he's appeared to be out of control when he's put it on the deck.
He has not had a single turnover tonight, as much as he's handled the ball.
Auburn number 4 in the SEC in terms of fewest turnovers. And they've needed to handle the ball like that tonight. They've only committed 8. Wilbekin trying to create. Dixon Tatum came over and got the block. And Billy Donovan is going to take a 30-second timeout. His team back on December 2nd when they lost to UConn.
The two games they lost, one to Wisconsin and one to Connecticut, were both very close contests.
Shot clock at 3. Wilbekin's going to go straight up. And that is a big-time rebound by Hassan Dixon Tatum.
All right, boys now is a big factor. Tony Barbee says, let's talk. Calls the timeout. There's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of positive things going on in that huddle right now. Look at him.
That has not been in a situation like this before. And these Florida seniors, boy, they've been through everything. 2 straight double-digit leads, only to see trips to the Final Four fade away.
I'm going to let Denson handle the ball.
Now Denson is roaming free on the baseline.
Nice shots indeed. Use the screen.
1 minute remaining.
Wow, that was a good look that he got. You cannot fault the kind of shot.
Absolutely not. They got what they wanted. They got somebody open down underneath. It was Patrick Young. He didn't block the shot, but he made it very difficult to get the ball up.
And how about the Gators stepping up? They eschew the 2. Frazier with a 3. 1-point Gator lead. 36 seconds to play. Johnson is talking about. And we've talked about that Florida defense. Auburn only has 1 field goal in its last 7 possessions. And it looks like the Gators are going to go mano-a-mano on this last possession. There's Denson off the screen. Will you get jumped out there and was called for the block, and I think that's a good call.
It is. You know, they've been doing that all night long. If you go to that sideline, Florida's going to trap you along that sideline. You tried to get over in front of him before he got out there, but he was moving. No question about that call.
And for those of you who could read lips, you just saw Billy Donovan say, Will, why did you jump out there? So Denson, 4 of 6 from the line. He's a 66% free throw shooter. In conference games, he's shooting 66%. Again goes out. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in offensively for Florida. 9 lead changes, and we're tied for the 6th time.
He missed it.
Oh my gosh. And what is Hassan Dixon Tatum doing? Oh, my goodness. He must have thought it was an end-of-the-game situation because he grabbed the Gator right around the waist.
He grabbed Patrick Young. Young's going to go to the line.
That couldn't have been a call from the bench, could it?
No. I think probably what was going through his mind was, if we get in a situation and you do this, you tell your players, commit a foul against the guy who's the worst free throw shooter. And he's the worst of the ones that are on the floor right now. But you don't want it at that point.
Young, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. He's a 57% free throw shooter. In conference play, he's shooting 62%. And regardless of how that happened, unless something crazy happens here, Auburn's going to have their hands on the ball at the end.
And they're going to be 2 down.
And nobody's coming back to get the basketball. Oh, my gosh.
Dave, that is just a total collapse on the last 2 plays. I mean, the foul and then nobody there. Nobody to help him out of bounds. You got to find somebody who's going to receive the ball. Now they almost have to foul.
They're out of timeouts. And they foul Wilmington.
Auburn fouls on the removed Chris Benson, his third.
An Auburn team that played so hard and so well for so long.
To have it come down to 2 plays like that, one a foul that should never have been committed, and a team that would not help the man out of bounds with the basketball, inbound the ball, nobody coming back to help. And then the ball is thrown out of bounds.
Florida, 22 of 26 from the line. And now with 17 and a half seconds left, they're probably going to have to get somebody out with a ladder to fix that there. Payne got it.
You don't necessarily need a 3 here, but you need a real quick 2.
And they can't stop the clock. This isn't quick. Harrell couldn't get it to go.
And that's going to do it.
Auburn fouls on number 2, and Payne is fifth.
And that's going to be number 5. Our Regents Bank player of the game, Casey Prather. 16 points, 9 rebounds. He's averaging 13.6 in league play. Patrick Young at the line with 16 second-half points.
He made those 2 big free throws, buddy.
Oh, boy.
That was the difference.
Oh, my goodness. What must be going through those minds on the Auburn bench. But credit the Gators. Great teams, championship teams, win on nights when they're not supposed to. And Billy Donovan would probably tell you this was one of those nights. In a most improbable fashion, the Gators win for the 18th straight time. It's the longest win streak in program history. And this is number 30 in a row here at the O-Dome. And Larry, our Regents Bank play of the game, it's a big one.
Well, Frazier got in position to receive the ball. He floated back in just beyond the three-point arc, and that was a big one to help the Gators pull out a 5-point win. Tough break for Auburn. They simply broke down on consecutive plays, but the Gators would not be denied tonight, Dave.
Shamsuddin 17, Denson 15, Young 17, all in the second half. Prather was 16 and Wilbekin 15. Florida now 24-2 and 13-0 in the SEC. And the Gators get one tonight they probably shouldn't have. For my partner Larry Conley and our entire SEC crew, I'm Dave Baker. So long from Gainesville, where the Gators pull one out.